You are listening to the So Now What podcast with Lana Vanikowski, episode number 162.
So now what? These three words raced through my mind time and time again during my journey through fertility treatments. I tried desperately to have a child, but never was able. I yearned for a community to join that could understand my struggles. I couldn't find one, so I created one with the So Now What podcast. I love that you found us.
I am so glad to have you here today on another episode of the So Now What podcast. And if you've been here before, you know that this space is for you. The woman who always dreamed of becoming a mother, but now finds herself navigating a life that looks so different than something that she imagined. And today I want to invite you into a powerful conversation about stepping into ownership of your life in a way that you might not have realized was possible. I wanted to talk about this today because if you are a regular listener of the podcast, you know that a lot of times the things that I talk about are things that are going on in my own life. And that's what I love so much about the connection that I have created with so many people who listen to the podcast, because this work that I do and the things that I talk about are relatable things, but the things that oftentimes people aren't talking about when you leave a journey or leave a dream behind that had you being a mother and you've realized that that is not going to be possible for you. So I recently had this moment of reflection that made me think deeply about how we show up for the life that we have today. And I want you to take this reflection and turn it inward and ask yourself, if today was the last day that you had everything available to you, everything that you see in front of you, everything that you know is around you, how would you be spending it? Let me take you back to the morning of Saturday, November 9th. Just over 4 months ago, I woke up like it was any other day, carefree. It was a Saturday. I did not have much of a schedule, which I love about being a woman who's childless, not by choice. I don't feel like I've got to have a weekend jam packed with everything I know I'm going to be doing. So that Saturday, I remember waking up. I went to a solid core class, which was something that I love doing, a great workout. I felt really powerful and strong doing that workout. Then I remember I came home, I got Coco. We went for a walk through the city. We stopped at the beach where she loves going, to Ohio Street Beach. And it was her happy place and my happy place, just a normal day, one that felt beautiful in all the ways that I've built my life to be. And I remember that afternoon, I had a meaningful conversation with the beautiful and infamous Kelly Stewart, who is a powerhouse in this community. We had a great conversation just about being women who are childless, not by choice, and unexpectedly childless, and ways that we connected and how we can collaborate and connect with each other. And then that night we had a dinner planned with some friends. I remember I got dressed up super cute. It was kind of like a date night. I had just gone shopping with my personal stylist, Angelica Garris. I had this cutest outfit on. And it was my typical, but not always typical Saturday unfolding. It was just kind of a day that I felt was rich with experiences that I chose and ways that I chose to fill it. And then that night after dinner, I fell. And that was where everything changed. And these last 4 months have been nothing that I could have predicted. And yet, in a crazy way, I felt prepared in a way that I never expected to feel. Life coaching and my journey through fertility treatments has prepared me and taught me that. The work I've done on myself has taught me that, because I've learned that life will always be uncertain. But the difference between being lost in the unknown and being grounded in it is one thing, and that is ownership. And for so many years after my fertility journey ended without a child, I sat in unknowing. I was wondering, wishing, waiting. I spent 7 years in fertility treatments doing everything I could to create the child that I dreamed of. And when that dream didn't happen, I just found myself stuck. I was unsure what life could be, because all I ever imagined was what my life was going to be as a mom and with motherhood. And I thought that if I waited long enough, that life would eventually figure out for itself how to feel meaningful again, that time would heal my wounds, and that one day I would just wake up and, like, poof, it would just all make sense. But here is what I've learned, and here's what I want to talk about today. Time does not do work for you. Healing just does not happen. Purpose doesn't just find you. You have to create all of that. So I want to ask you, if today was the last day that you had everything that you're looking at around you that you know is just a phone call away or an arm's reach away, would you want to be feeling the way that you're feeling right now? Would you want to look back 4 months from now or 4 years from now and realize that you spent so much time waiting instead of rebuilding? If the answer is no, my question is, why not start today? Let me tell you why. We come up with so many excuses for why we're not ready. Tell me if this relates with you. You tell yourself, I just need a little more time. I should be able to figure this out on my own. Maybe one day I'll feel like I'm ready to move forward. But what if one day is today? What if the only thing standing between you and the life that feels whole, feels joyful and truly yours, is the decision to start? I write all about this in my new book, So Now What? Because I know what it's like to wait for something to change, only to realize that the change was within me. No one ever told me that. No one ever made me aware of that. And that is why I wrote So Now What? It isn't just a book, it's a resource that I literally wish that I would have had when I was sitting in that unknown and those years of wondering, what's going to be my sign? Who's going to come tell me that this is the time to do it? Who is going to shake me on the shoulder and say, let's get this figured out? But this book is that resource. It is the one that tells you, yes, you can feel purposeful and meaningful without children, but not if you don't start the process of creating it. That is why I became a certified life coach for women who are unexpectedly childless, why I went back and I got an advanced certification to help women process the disenfranchised grief that comes with losing this dream of motherhood. Because I know it's hard to say you're ready when you don't know where to begin. So I invite you to start today. To give you an example of the type of things that I'm writing about in So Now What, I want to read an excerpt from So Now What. It's from chapter 9, which is called Learning Not to Fear Change. And one of the biggest reasons why we hold ourselves back from stepping into a new future is fear of change. It feels safer to stay in the discomfort that you feel right now or the discomfort that you know instead of stepping into that unknown. Instead of being like, oh my gosh, I got to figure this all out again. Or what if this doesn't work? What if I don't ever figure it out? And it's that fear of failure that we have been conditioned to feel because we've heard the word failure used time and time again during our journey through fertility treatments to describe us as patients, to describe our cycles. So in chapter 9, I wrote all about the fear that we have about change. So let me read it to you. For years, I convinced myself that standing still was safer than moving forward, that if I just waited long enough, the pain of childlessness would somehow settle, and I'd wake up one day feeling like myself again. But waiting didn't heal me. It just kept me stuck. It wasn't until I allowed myself to imagine something different, something I had planned for, that I started to see a way forward. It wasn't easy, but staying in my sadness wasn't easy either. And if both paths felt hard, why not choose the one that had the possibility of leading me to somewhere new? And that is what I want from you, to stop waiting for life to happen to you and start to choose it. So when those excuses come up that you need a little bit more time, that you should be able to figure it out on your own, that you should be over it by now, I want you to know that there is a resource for you. This book is written for women just like you. This book hasn't been released yet, is just in the pre-launch mode where until April 2nd, you can find it and still buy it pre-launch, but on April 2nd, it's going to release. And even in this pre-launch mode, this book is already being called a top new bestseller on Amazon. Like, is that not crazy? And what does that tell you? It tells you that there are so many of us who have been left to figure this out on our own with zero resources. And this book is a new light for so many people who have been left to figure it out on their own. These words are just not words on a page. It's literally the guide I wish that I had when I was given no resources, when my fertility journey came to an end, when I spent literally years feeling lost and alone. And it's basically a blueprint of how you can take ownership of your future, no matter how impossible that might be feeling for you right now. And if you're hearing this and thinking, like, okay, but what if I buy the book and I don't know where to start? That's perfect. I love to offer free 45-minute Thrive calls where I help women figure out, if you're feeling stuck, where to go next. If you're tired of waiting, how you can start to fix things. So if you're ready to feel excited about your future again, know that you can get there. You're welcome to book a 45-minute Thrive call. I will put the link to it right here in the show notes, but I just want you to know that you do not have to figure this out alone. There are resources that have not always been there, and they are available to you now. And this is your time to take advantage of this, because I don't want you to think back years from now on your life and wish that you had taken action sooner. Wish that when things were easier, you would have grabbed onto the things that were around you. So let today be the day that you stop waiting, the day that you take ownership of what's next, because you have everything in front of you right now. What do you want to do with it? If this episode spoke to you, I'd love if you'd share it with a friend who needs to hear this message. Don't forget that So Now What releases on April 2nd. It's already at Amazon. You can go on Amazon, search So Now What with a question mark, or search my name, Lana Manikowski, so that you can get your copy today. But more than anything, I want you to know that I hope you have a beautiful week. I love you. And remember that it's never too late to discover your meaning. I'll talk to you next week. Hey, real quick, I just wanted to tell you about an awesome resource I created. If you have ever found yourself in conversations with people, or maybe people offering you suggestions about what you should do to become a mom, it's called The Top 27 Things People Say When You're Childless and How to Respond. You can get your copy free at lanamanikowski.com/things people say.